Everything you've learned about watercolor says you need primary colors. They are a must. So today I ignored that completely and tried these crazy colors instead. Let's see if they work. Let's get started. So we're going to start off with the Jerry's Artorama Jumbo Jet Black pencil. I'm just going to make some marks. This is actually a charcoal pencil. We are working on the hot press paper today from Oahu, or Oahu. I'm not quite sure how to say the name. Oahu. Just making some marks. I really like how this pencil works on this paper. So I thought that we'd try a different sort of combination here. I've got the Haze Pink. These are all Schmincke colors. The Liquid Raw Umber and the Prussian Blue from Schmincke. I was messing around in ChatGPT and I was like, hey, I have all these colors. Like, tell me what palette to make. And this is kind of, it gave me like 30 suggestions with the colors I had. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up all of them and see what happens. Okay, that's very green. That might work. Let's put some wax marks down. I've been grooving on the wax marks lately. And we'll just put down a swab of this greeny color. Of course, we're going to use it also in full strength. This is the Liquid Umber Schmincke. I'm going to come back in and scrape in some marks. I'll spritz down the paper a little bit, and then we're just going to add in a little bit of that Haze Pink. Such a pretty color. This is a granulating color, so it's pretty cool. Actually, I don't know if I might put some marks, like just a few marks through here. We probably need another color up here at the top. So I'm just mixing in a little bit of that Prussian Blue with the Haze Pink, just to kind of see what we get. With kind of like those little dry brushing marks I just made. That's cool. I might lift a little bit of that color out. I'm just gonna kind of come back in with a semi-dry brush and lift the watercolor off the paper just a little bit here to the side. So here I'm mixing in Prussian Blue and that umber color. Again, this really cool sea green. That's really pretty. Does it need more blue? Might need more blue. Okay, let's put that through here. It's always fun using new color palettes. I encourage you just to kind of try something different. Really all I did, I took a picture of all my colors, laid them out in groups of red, yellow, blue, and then I just put it into ChatGPT and asked it to tell me what color combinations, primary, base, that I could make. That is a really pretty color. And you just love that. I love it. It's almost like it's a little bit under sea green. It kind of has that feeling. What if we added maybe some more of the umber down here? I mixed in the Haze Pink with that umber, and look at that really interesting gray that we get. I also been trying a new technique too, where I'm not cleaning my brushes every time. I saw another creator who was talking about using, so when you're mixing, I haven't cleaned my brush, and she's like, you just get the best colors that way if you just keep painting with what's on your brush, especially if you're using a limited palette. It just kind of gives you a different perspective on the color. I sort of like what we got going on here. Her theory was it makes colors that you wouldn't normally mix, and so it creates a richer palette. It's really hard not to do, though. It's really hard to not clean off your brush because we're so used to doing that. So I'm encouraging you guys to try it. It's really, I've been creating some pretty fabulous colors lately in my daily work. I think we need more lines through here, though. I've also been adding some stamps to the watercolor, which I think I might do here in a minute. But I'm going to let this dry and see what we come up with. So I'm just going to come in with a little bit more, almost a dry brush of this umber, just down through here. Really loving still this paper. I think it's amazing. I just want a few more strokes through here. I think I might want to cover this whole up though. Let's add some marks through here. Like these little scrapey marks. So I'm just going to take this lunar black that I got a little wet. I'm just going to rub it here on this stamp. I think I got this stamp from Amazon. I think it was forever ago. I apologize. I don't remember where I get everything from, but I think it was Amazon. I think I'm going to put it right through here. So this technique that I used to use a while back, and I kind of got away from it, but I really like how we can add texture, subtle texture, and just make it kind of come together a little bit. Okay, so I have these couple of these soft pastels that I bought. The Jack Richardson soft pastels. And those tones I thought would be kind of neat. So let's put a little bit, just a little bit. I don't want a lot. Pastels can be very, like you can see, they can overtake a piece really quickly. We don't want that to happen. I do want to make some marks through here though. I found that something I really like is having the marks kind of skid across, although it's not really working on this one. Of course it's not. Let's do, I think I just want a little bit through here. And you will have to fix this, guys, if you use soft pastels over your watercolors. They definitely will need some sort of fixative to stay in place. You can see here that those lines that I put through are really kind of just sticking there. I think that just brings some richness to it because it was feeling very flat in one color. And sometimes you just don't have the color or the boldness in the watercolor to add in those marks, if that makes sense. Just sort of make it flow a little better. Doesn't need to be all or one, you know what I mean? I'm finding that, at least for me, that working in a little bit more subtle of a layer works better. Now you could use also your nail colors or oil pastels, whatever you want through there. I think I need something through there though. But this is going to give you a different look. Let me think about this. Okay, so I think I just want to add, I like these sort of light charcoal marks I got going on here. So I'm just going to add a few more of those, and I think we're done. I feel like the only other thing I could do would be, could maybe add some of this charcoal down here, just a little bit of texture. But I kind of like the simplicity of it. It feels very serene to me. So I think I'm going to stop there. So let's get a mat out. Okay, here it is with the mat. It will never not be amazing to me when I put a mat on something and how much it changes the whole piece. Everything just kind of comes forward and gets more bright. Things that I like. I love the sky. I love the palette. Like I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what we were going to get with those colors. But I really enjoy the pink and the Prussian blue, I think is great. I love the seafoamy kind of green. brownie color you get with the Prussian blue and the oak and the umber. That to me is stellar. Love the pastels, love the pencil lines. A little bit of wax resist right there in that one little section. Kind of preserved enough of the white and added some texture as well. I kind of like the stamp because it feels like almost like sea foam or something like that. And then you've got these sort of implied brush grasses over here in the bottom. I really like this. I think it's one of my favorite things I've done. I like the simplicity of the palette. I also really liked painting with not cleaning my brush. That was very hard for me to do. I kept wanting to dip my brush over there. But I think the palette really works, and then you really get some unique colors, and it feels more cohesive. Let me know in the comments, is that something that you would try? And that's all I got for you today. I'll be back next week, and we will talk about maybe another palette. I've got so many, but we might do a new spin on it. So I'll see you next Tuesday for the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a great weekend. Bye.